up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I am so grateful for everyone that has decided to join in here. We are literally a little over 100 subscribers away from hitting our first 1,000 subscribers, and I did not think that I would be hitting it this far away before the end of the year. My goal was to definitely hit that by the end of the year, but I definitely thought it was gonna take a little bit longer. But I'm so excited and I'm so grateful for you guys, and it means so much to me. I usually do my monthly reading wrap-ups quarterly, but you will see in the next two upcoming videos why I actually decided to go ahead and film my July wrap-up separately. I have been one busy mama the past week or so, and things just don't always go according to plan, but you have to learn how to pivot. Don't dwell on it, people, okay? So I did read 7 books in the month of July, which actually was really good compared to what I've been reading during the summer. And I honestly didn't even realize I had finished that many books until I was gathering them for today's video. I'm going to get right into them, but I also want to say that I had an abnormally almost perfect reading month. I mean, I had no bad reads at all. So all of the books that I'm going to share with you are all books that I absolutely highly recommend, and I think the lowest rating that I have here is a 3.75. So let's get into what I read. First book that I finished was It's a Love Story by Annabelle Monaghan. Now, I really enjoy Annabelle Monaghan's writing, and there's only one of them so far that I didn't enjoy as much, but this one is definitely a 4, maybe even a 4.5 star read for me personally. This book features our main character, Jane, and she used to be a child star and have her own TV show. Now, as an adult, she is trying to break out and create a new show, or actually it's not a show, it's a movie. And we have the person, Dan, who actually is her rival at the studio, and they have to come together for the greater good to try and get someone else from Jane's childhood to help them make a movie that they want to happen come to fruition. Now, I enjoyed this book so much. It reminded me of how Kate Hudson has her transformation in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. The more that she starts to fall in love with Matthew McConaughey, the more relaxed her appearance becomes, the things that they do together, the experiences, especially at the end of that movie. That's exactly how this felt. And I loved that Dan's family was a large family. He's one of 5 brothers, and it just felt so real. And I cannot recommend this enough. I loved it. If you're looking for something short, it's less than 300 pages to add to finish up your summer and get those summer feels in, I definitely recommend this one. Next, I do not have the physical copy, but that is Finlay Donovan Digs Her Own Grave. Now, I love the Finlay Donovan series. I have loved every single one of them. I will say that I believe this is my least favorite. Now, I don't know if it's just because it's my first time doing one of the books on audiobook. I probably will buy it again once I get it, or excuse me, I will read it again once I get it in physical form. But I did give this one the 3.75. This one is featuring a lot more of their neighbor, Miss Haggerty. And as you know, in the one before this, there's a dead body discovered in her backyard. And she's released, and they're trying to find out who is the culprit behind the dead body. I felt like Finlay and Vero's relationship just didn't feel the same as the previous books, and that's what kind of makes the story really funny, and you want to follow along and see what they're getting into, and it just didn't feel like that. There's a lot of other things that happen that I don't want to spoil if you enjoy that series. But then in the end, I listened to the ending 2 times because I wasn't sure why, after the person confessed what happened, who that person is, I'm not going to say, I didn't understand why they weren't incarcerated. I was like, Where did I miss something of why they're walking around after they confessed? I wasn't really sure, and I just couldn't follow along with it as well. There were lots of chunks of the story that were funny, that were good, but then there was just something there about the execution that I just did not enjoy. So I want to be honest with you guys. This is like probably one of my top 5 favorite series, and I wasn't all the way feeling it when it came to this one in particular. Next, I did read Plus Size Player by Daniel Allen, and if you guys watch, I think I read it in June, so if you watch my quarterly wrap up for April, May, and June, you will see that I read Curvy Girl Summer, and I could not shut up about it. I loved that book. I gave it a 4.5, and I gave this one a 4-star. I loved this doggone book. So Nina is the friend that we get to know in Curvy Girl Summer who does not settle, okay? She's dating around, she's living her life, and she's an influencer, and she has different boyfriends well, not boyfriends, they're really just, she's dating them, and they call them like the fun one, the smart one, all these, the romantic one, and she meets Russell. Now, Russell is a guy who is really just like taking her out, and she's having a good time, and that's actually the one that she calls the fun one. And as time progresses, she starts to realize that maybe she likes Russell a lot more than she thought. And then we get the forbidden romance trope. I don't think I read a lot of forbidden romance. I don't think so, but this one was done very, very good. I enjoyed it so much. It is a lot spicier than Curvy Girl Summer. You have read Curvy Girl Summer and you read that first scene, you're gonna think that that book is extremely spicy, and it's not. The spice is exactly what it needs to be, and it's done impeccably well. This one needed to be more spicy, and it is also done impeccably well. Daniel Allen just writes it so realistically, and it just feels the moment. It's purposeful, it's there when it needs to be there. I loved this. Once again, I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. Next is gonna be a book that I read with my kids, and that is Way of the Warrior Kid by, what is this guy's name? Joko Willnick, and I believe he was a Navy SEAL. If you have a kid who complains, if you have kids who make excuses, if you have kids that need to get up off of their butts and stop acting like they can't do anything, this is the book for them. If you're a homeschool mom like I am, this is a great read aloud book. I read this to all of my kids. And in fact, my younger son, the day after I finished reading it to them, he read it again by himself in a day and a half. And it is so funny. It is about Mark. And Mark, he can't do push-ups, he can't do pull-ups, he's bullied all the time. He doesn't feel like he's smart enough because he hasn't memorized his multiplication. And his uncle comes back, who is a Navy SEAL, and puts him through summer training, teaches him how to memorize things. He does all of these different things. I can't spoil it for you, but it is very cute, it's very funny, and I let my kids rate this, and they rated it 5 out of 5 stars. Next, I needed a pick-me-up. I needed a pick-me-up because I felt like my reading has been super slow, and my go-to girl to pick me up when I'm in a slump and I don't know what's taking me so long to pick one of hers up is Frida McFadden. I read The Perfect Son by Frida McFadden, and I'm so glad that I did. I read this, I think, in a day and a half or 2 days. Yeah, this was good. And even if you figure out what is going on, that doesn't mean that it's not a good book. I'm sorry. If you are saying that I am going to give this a super duper low rating just because I predicted something or whatnot, okay, no. If it's not written right and it's just not making sense, yes, fine, but stop always lowering the rating just because you were able to predict something. So this book features a woman named Erica and her son Liam. And Erica has always had some type of suspicions about who her son is and kind of like his personality traits, and maybe they're not too good. And Liam has a crush on a girl, and this girl ends up disappearing. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you. But I did not want to put this down. I woke up extra early in the morning so I could finish it, and I did give this one a 4 out of 5 stars, and it definitely got me out of my reading slump. Y'all, this lighting is super wonky, by the way, because I don't know what's going on. We've had thunderstorm after thunderstorm. Look at this, the lighting is going up, and it had just went down. But anyways, so next we read a book that I've been saying that I'm gonna read for the past, I want to say the first time I put it in a video was all the way back in March. All the way back in March. And I'm so glad that I waited to read Honey and Spice. I'm so glad that I read it at the perfect time. Now, I had such a good time with this book right here. And it's YA, I believe, and I don't actually have a ton of YA books that I absolutely love or recommend, but this one I definitely will. Now, it is for the older. It's not like I would not give this to my daughter who's 15. This is for like the 18 to 21 age range is kind of where, maybe even 17, where I would give this to someone. But our two main characters are Kiki and Malachi, and they are rivals. They are what the opposite of what people would think who would be together, and they end up being seen kissing at a party and having to fake date. And it is so cute. I was smiling so much when I read this book, and it is perfect for like that summer fall time. I felt like it was perfect for that. And I definitely gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. Now, last but not least, I wasn't sure if I wanted to actually share this with you guys because it is in my upcoming summer reading vlog, but I wanted to be true to what I did finish in the month of July, and I did post a short about spicing. So the book that I was referencing is Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone. I was obsessed with this book, with what I was reading, and I still am. This features Lenny and Miles. Lenny is our FMC, and her best friend, but more like sister, has died, and she is starting the process of grief. And with where I am in life, with everything that has occurred this year, I definitely felt a lot of what was going on with her, with the breakdowns, with the middle of the day type of things that happen, or the thought process when one thing goes from another. I mean, I just feel like Cara has the ability to write very simple words, very simple sentences, to the point where the character feels like you're actually interacting with them. These characters feel real. They feel like someone you know, and she does that very, very well. I cried multiple times, like boo-hoo, tears pouring down, crying, and I had the feeling that this one was going to be a 5-star read for me, but unfortunately, towards the end of the book, the spice scene hit. And I thought this book was going to have no spice at all by the way that it was written. Do not get me wrong. I do not mind reading spice books at all. I mean, I've read Credence. I don't mind reading spice books at all. It's just not for every single story. And then the way that it was written to me was extremely mechanical. It felt like an instruction manual, and I did not enjoy it, and it took me completely out of the story. Now, some people may have read it and felt like it was a 5-star, and maybe they didn't process the spicing the same way that I did, but for me personally, it definitely took away from Lenny's story. And it also took away from how I felt about Miles the entire time. Like, he was not about that. And it's just, you have to read it yourself, and maybe hearing my perspective on that part of the book will help other people to see the book a little bit differently. But I'm still giving it a 4.5. It just, the entire last 40 pages of the book, I was just like, whatever. But that doesn't take away like a full star for me. It really doesn't, especially since I can easily say that this was my favorite book of the entire month. So I think that for the month of July, with everything that I had going on, with my brother coming, with the 4th of July, I think that this was a really good reading month for me. 7 books is the most books that I've read probably in the past two, maybe 3 months. So July, 3 months, that would take us, no, literally, that's the best reading month since March. So 7 books in a month, that's really, really awesome. And me and the kids finished a read aloud. Thank you guys so much for being here. Once again, if you have not yet, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Like I said, I am almost to my goal of my first 1K. I'm so appreciative of you guys, and I just can't wait to see where this channel goes. I do have a lot of content coming out for you guys that are not sit down videos. I do have a summer diaries that is already filmed and just needs to be edited. And then I have my summer reading vlog. But I have a lot of stuff going on around the house, and I just wasn't able to read as much as I thought last week. So I will keep on pushing. This is the reality of being a mom, and everything does not go according to plan, and that's okay. This is me telling you that it is okay if things do not go according to plan. Just refocus. So until I see you guys next time, happy reading.